Hello, singers. Welcome back. I'm Laura, and here at the Weekly Warmup, I share clear, fun voice education so that you can enjoy your singing even more. Now, today's video is part of our series on singing practice. And today I want to do a dive into the 10 most common mistakes I see singers make in their practicing. Now, rest assured, I'm not doing this for the purpose of scolding you or making you feel bad about making a mistake. I'm actually putting this video early on in the series so that you can squeeze every last drop of benefit from your practicing as you build that habit, and make sure that all of your practice is sort of the most effective that it possibly can be, because I know how precious those practice moments are. So I've got a little list. If you know what show that's from, put it down in the comments below, and let's just jump right in. So the first error that I see singers make, and I've mentioned this before, is running your music starting from the beginning every time. Now, number one, of course, you're never going to learn the end of the piece if you do that, or at least you'll know the beginning much better than the end. But number two, operating your practice that way, where you always start from the beginning, means that you're not looking over your music and being really strategic about the parts that need the most work. So if you need help doing this, I do have a free handout. It's called the 30-second music analysis. I had to remember what it was called. I'll link it down below. It's totally free, and it will just help you ask some questions as you flip through your music to know where your practice will be most needed. So that's error number one, just running through your music, starting at bar one every time. And error number two is only singing in your singing practice. What I mean by this is that there are all kinds of ways that you can use your voice that are not singing per se. I'm talking about things like speaking, sighing, funny noises. If you've done any of my exercises, you know I'm a big believer in animal noises, witch laughs, all kinds of funny sounds. And when you bring in these sounds that feel like they're not singing, you really widen your concept of your ability to make vocal colors and your ability to make the voice function in different ways. And expanding your repertoire of sort of vocal usage beyond just singing can really help to untangle vocal habits and tensions that you're hoping to get rid of. So for purely vocal reasons, it's a great idea. There's also the whole range of clapping, snapping, tapping your foot, all of these other tools that we can use, or speaking in rhythm, as we learn our music. And I don't want you to forget to take advantage of all those things that are not singing as part of your singing practice. So be sure to do that. Now, number three is when you are doing that strategic practice and you're working on a part that feels really hard. A common error that I see is just repeating that section over and over again, trying to sort of do it better, rather than dismantling it and taking it apart into separate components. So this might mean something like working on just one really zoomed in area, like one specific interval that's giving you trouble. Feel free to just zoom in on that and fix that rather than running the whole phrase over and over again and tiring yourself out. Another option would be to not do all three elements, rhythm, pitch, and language, all at once, but maybe take away the language and do it on vowels, or take away the pitches and just speak the rhythm. So feel free to work in terms of not just strategically kind of doing a short section of music, but also in ways that maybe don't incorporate all the elements at once, exactly the way they appear on the page. You can always put it back together later after you've fixed those little things that are giving you trouble. Okay, problem number four that I see really commonly with singers' practice is using exercises without getting the full benefit. Now, I always try to explain to you when I teach you an exercise here on the channel exactly why it works. And if I give you some hints, like make sure you keep buzzing through the top note, or make sure your lips stay really round, if you don't incorporate those elements and really pay close attention to them, you might not be getting the full benefit of the exercise. And it's not that it's a total waste of your time, but wouldn't you rather have those exercises working with their full potency? So do make sure that even if you find something that really works for you and you want to make sure you do it every day, don't let it just become something that you do by rote. Be thoughtful about exactly what the things are that move the needle for you vocally, and make sure those elements are really mindfully in play each time you practice. Okay, here's a tough one. Common mistake number 5 is pushing the top of the voice. Now, I hear from a lot of singers that they want to extend their top range and have more facility with high notes, and that is great. It's a worthy aim. It's something that I work for myself pretty regularly. But here's the thing. This is an area of the voice where you get diminishing returns very fast. So I will often overhear in the practice rooms here that singers are just singing high C after high C after high C. And you get one and it's not the way you want it, so you try again, and then you try again, and then you try again. And what I want to recommend here is an idea of doing things more than twice. So basically, if you try something, like if you go for a high note and let's say it doesn't work, stop. Think about exactly what went wrong. So did you feel closing? Did you feel that you ran out of breath? Did you feel that you were not grounded? Whatever, do a scan and find what went wrong to the best of your knowledge, and then try to change that and make another attempt. That's your second attempt. If your second attempt works, then great, go on and keep going. But if that second attempt is also not successful, don't do anymore. Don't go any higher. Don't try to repeat that note anymore. It's not going to go right today. And your chances of tiring yourself or hurting yourself are much higher the longer you keep throwing yourself at that high note. So that is error number 5, is if you're trying to push the top, don't make an attempt at any pitch more than twice, okay? 2 failed attempts is the most that you get on a given day. You can always come back tomorrow, and that is okay. All right, tied in with that is the idea, I'm going to put this as a separate one, number 6, because sometimes we don't think about it as just range. Any phrase that you're trying to sing and something's going wrong, don't do it wrong more than twice, okay? So this is the same concept as before. Do it the way that you think you want to do it. If it's not successful, think about it, make a change, and try it again. And if that's not successful, leave it alone. Okay, so we had number 5 was working on high notes. Number 6 is just kind of a general catch-all of whatever is going on, analyze what's going wrong, try to fix it, and if that doesn't work, put it away. You can always think about it later and make a plan for how you're going to attack it next time you practice. Number 7, oh, this is such a big one. Maybe I'll do a separate video on this. A huge mistake I see is that singers will practice and make all these wonderful adjustments and get all these great habits going, and then they forget to mark it in their music. Make sure that you are writing down what is working for you. So when you find something that really makes a meaningful change for you, get out that pencil and put it in your music. A major mistake that I see really commonly, not using a mirror. Singers, you have such a wonderful resource at home or even just using your phone on the selfie mode. Watch yourself sing. There is no end to the number of weird things you'll catch yourself doing, and you instantly fix so many of them by just watching yourself. So don't miss that opportunity. You'll see lip tension, weird postural things. You'll notice that your breath is moving in a different way than you thought it was. So this is a great way to kind of see yourself doing something, make a change, and then feel that adjustment. So make sure you use your mirror. Okay, number 9, this is going to sound a little bit counterintuitive, but I think a major mistake that singers make in their practicing is trying to relax out of tension. If it works for you, then bless you. But for most singers, trying to relax something that's tight is probably not going to work because that tension exists in the first place because there's a lack of support or a lack of alignment. There's something going wrong somewhere in the system. So those muscles feel like they have to engage to help you get that sound out, right? Tension is just your body trying to help you sing in a way that is not totally efficient. So better than relaxing out of tension or just thinking, oh, I just need to relax, really think about, why is that muscle kicking in? Is my posture not aligned? Am I not providing low support so that the muscles of my neck feel like they have to carry all of the load? Whatever it may be, think about what the tension is actually trying to resolve for you and correct that. Then the tension is taken care of and the singing is more integrated. And now finally, number 10, the grand finale, and it may be a little predictable, but the biggest mistake that I see singers make is not practicing. And I don't mean that you need to be practicing every single day. I always recommend 3 to 5 times a week, 10 to 20 minutes. But sometimes I see singers who don't practice at all because they only have 1 minute or 5 minutes. And as I mentioned in last week's video, take advantage of any snippet of time that arises. All practice is moving you toward your goal, and the cumulative effect of all of those mini practices can be huge. So don't make that mistake. Make sure that you just dig in when you have the time, even if it's only a little time. That's all I have for you today. I hope one of these tips at least was helpful for you, and let me know if you have some other troubleshooting ideas for your fellow singers down in the comments. I would so appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription to the channel so that you can catch the rest of this practice series. We're going to be continuing with a deep dive on warming up, exactly how to pick the exercises for your warm-up next week, and then continuing on into music learning. So I really appreciate your watching. Thank you for practicing.